Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Kel.
And we had quite the week last week in Overwatch League. Now that is what we watched the league for. Mm-hmm. Every day there was at least one good game.
Best week so far. I don't think that there's been a better week of games yet.
No.
And
there was upsets and...
I mean, how many games did we have go to 5 maps?
I think most of them went to... Well, a good majority of them did.
We had at least one every day.
Yeah.
That went to 5. That's what we've really been wanting and hoping for.
And Friday was the best day on the whole.
Man. But no, let's
start off.
Jump right into day 1 of week 3. We've got started off with the shock in London Spitfire.
There wasn't much to talk about really in the first 2 matches. Well, I guess we can talk a little bit about Shanghai in the second match. The first match went as expected. Kind of like we saw it.
Pretty much.
London's just a superior team. Although they've been looking a little shaky.
They look shaky in really odd areas.
Yeah.
Their King of the Hill maps are just, I don't know what it is with that team and King of the Hill, and they just cannot.
No, they can't
get it down.
What's happening is I threw this out on Twitter, is we're finally seeing everybody is figuring out what the other guys are doing, which is why we're getting close matches. Mm-hmm. London's going to go in with, X lineup doing this thing, and San Francisco's going to try and counter it, and vice versa.
Big shout out to Bedosin in that game.
Oh.
Wow. Was he just... In both games that he played in this week, he was just a monster.
Yeah, it's still continuing with how good people play Zenyatta. And it's not like he's just DPSing with Zenyatta. He's keeping up with the heals. He's hitting his Transcendence at the right times.
His Transcendences have been transcendent.
Yeah. That was a little... that was bad.
I'm so sorry to everybody for that pun, but I had to. In all honesty,
I'll give that one too.
His ults have been phenomenal. I have not seen anything better. He's just nailing it right when it needs to be. I think in the next game we'll talk about that. But he killed it with those.
He did.
But moving on to Shanghai and Seoul,
which we weren't going to talk about this, but you know what? Shanghai gave them a scare.
They did.
But I'm gonna preface it with this from my point of view. Flooded in play in the first 2 matches of that set,
and it was very evident.
And it was so evident in that. I mean, Shanghai played good.
Yeah. Play yet.
Kind of like what we were thinking a point they would get to, not as trash heap as they were for the last week.
So good for them, and they showed up in the next game that they played, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, we will. On to the match of the day, our first of the 5 gamers. This was great.
That was
a good... I mean, the Gladiators aren't the best. I think we've learned that throughout the weekend,
but I think
they're good, though.
Of any team, they have the most cohesion with all of their team together.
Yeah, they do.
They have some of the best teamwork and communication that I've seen from any other team. And that's what really, truly keeps them in games. Yeah. And if they could up
there's genuine teamwork with them.
Yes. If they can up their skill just a little bit more, I think they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, because I'm liking the combination of Surefour and Hydration. They're doing a lot of damage. I mean, if you're going to find one of the weaker points on LA, I'm going with their DPS, but they're actually slowly becoming better and better.
I think I still stand by it's their tank play.
Yeah, their tank plays
them back.
Bishu's a decent diva. Remix is a little dangerous.
He's just too aggressive at times.
Yeah.
And at some points it works, and then other points
and these guys now, like we said, they're watching each other play, and they're just waiting for it.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as he leaps, he gets discorded and dead within seconds.
One thing I definitely got to call out in this game that I thought was exceptional was Big Goose playing Lucio.
His Lucio was
that
awesome.
First map was just a joy to watch.
He's really good.
He was all over the place. He was getting picks.
He kept him in the...
It was phenomenal, and that's something I'm really excited to see more of once these Mercy changes go in, and more teams can actually play Lucio and Anon, teams like that. And
get more of the Moira stuff, more of the Ana stuff. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, there was points where he was keeping his team alive not by healing, but by making picks.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple of big plays on Nimbani. Mm-hmm. By the way, I did like the way that they flipped the maps a little bit there. Yeah. I mean, that threw us. I mean, if any of you guys watched our picks or anything like that, our map order, we were going by what they had on the website pre-match start on Wednesday. And they had it the normal order. And then they flipped it around, which makes a difference when you're making picks. But I'm not making excuses for some things. But
right now.
But the Valiant did what the Valiant do, though. In the end, they kind of figured things out. They came through.
They are the kings of adjustments right now.
Yeah, I see.
When things start to look really iffy, then all of a sudden they
figure things out,
lock things down. When they get to like that last point on Nimbani or things like that, like when it really comes down to like we have to get this to get the win, they make that happen, and
they make great switches.
Yes,
I think they kind of realize sometimes and when you play, you do this. You're like, I'm gonna go out and spawn one more time. I think I can do something, and that's important. It's like it's not working. They switch off the Pharah onto the McCree right away. They see there's a Lucio. They switch their comps up, but more as not as a preemptive, but as a counter to what the other team's doing better than a lot of teams do in the league.
Yes, but even their preemptive switches work out really well for them as well. Like a lot of the teams where you're playing Eichenwald. On first point, you almost always have a Pharah, and then as soon as you get the first point,
you get through that archway. You get out through the archway by the front side of the castle there. Mm-hmm. I think they're outside of the Korean teams. No matter what their record says right now, I still think they're
the best Western team.
They're the best Western team
for sure.
And we'll get into my opinion on that in a little bit. And Cal's pretty much on the same boat. The hype on certain records and what certain teams do. Just fucking cool your jets down on a couple of different teams.
Yeah. Let's jump into Thursday where we had two pretty big upsets and probably
Thursday was
two of the best matches of the week.
And one of the worst in fucking history.
All right, so
we won't talk about that one. Let's talk about the good.
Yeah, so Boston and London.
That was so fun watching that. Oh man!
Wow! And what a match.
I mean, I'm a Mayhem fan, but we're the big honks for the Boston Uprising.
Yes,
we've believed in him since day one.
Yeah, and this is not taking anything away from London because I do think that they are a top tier team and they'll come back from this, but.
And they also, I think they kind of suspended Prophet, not necessarily saying they suspended him, but he wasn't playing in the first half of the match. I don't think he came on until the last map, in overtime.
I think so.
I think they kind of sat him down because of flipping the bird thing. Mm-hmm. That hurt him a little bit. He's another one like Fleta. You can tell they're not the same team without him in there.
Yeah, for sure.
But that being said, Boston still played well.
This was also the major coming out party for Dreamcasper.
Oh yeah, Dreamcasper.
I said it last week, and I'll say it again. He is the guy to watch, and he's the soul of that team.
Yeah, and Striker's good too.
And that combo of him and Striker is lethal. And
their tank play has been so much better lately.
Yes.
Note played all weekend long, and not just on Tuesday. When they had Note in there playing Diva, he was really really good.
Kalios.
Him and Note were switching off.
He and Note.
I like that. I like the.
But I mean, that combo of Dreamcasper and Striker is just
Dreamcasper Strikers. That's a nice from the whole weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Phenomenal Genji play from Dreamcasper. I mean, he might be. He's definitely top 3 Genjis in the league. He might be. He might be up there as the best.
At some point, he will be in that conversation, I think. Because
he's so young, too. He's only 18, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only 18, 19 at the most. I mean, he's one of the younger guys. But that whole team is young.
Yeah, right. And that's exactly why, I mean, they have a very fitting name.
Yeah, Uprising.
And because they're rising up the ranks, man. This is a team to watch out for.
And London's been shaky though. Except for against San Francisco. I mean, they've had moments where you're just going, I don't know what's going on with them. You know, they look good one minute, they look like absolute dog shit the next. Mm-hmm. Which the first couple weeks they looked like they were the best team in the league other than Seoul.
But I
think that was a lot of it was Boston. Boston was just playing. I think it was just really
superior play from Boston for sure, and you just can't deny how lethal of a combination you have with Dreamcasper and Striker. I don't
exactly.
I don't know if there's I think there are some better DPS players in general, but
he's on the rise though.
Combos, I think that one is.
They're fantastic. So good. They play off each other well because Striker when Striker's on Tracer, he does a really good job of distraction. And then when you put Dreamcasper on Pharah or you put him on Genji, he's a terror.
Yeah.
A lot of it to me is their coaching. Mm-hmm. That's why they beat London. In my opinion, they're learning. Video, you're watching videos, you're watching tapes, you're learning what these guys do, and you are either proactively stopping them or you're adapting when you're going, okay, they ran this. Mm-hmm. This is what's going to beat it.
Exactly.
Because we watched this video and this team did this against them and stopped it.
Right.
And they're doing that at a high level.
They really are, for sure.
And
I'm very excited
impressed.
to see where they go from here. Moving on to the next match.
Yeah, let's move on to that one.
With the big upset this week.
That was the big one. And
man,
that was huge. And you know what? You can say what you want about looking forward. You know, New York was looking, probably doing more preparation for their map against Seoul, or their match against Seoul.
Yeah.
But Philly's no joke. It's not like they had Shanghai before like Seoul did, and they kind of do a lot more preparation for New York. They just didn't look great to me at all.
No, New York look probably the sloppiest that they've looked.
Yeah.
There was a reason they lost this game.
Yeah, definitely. There was bad economy, and Philadelphia was the opposite.
Sloppy play. Yeah. They were trickling in,
and they had like no answer for Shadowburn.
Mm-hmm. Shadowburn.
And the hit scan DPS people that they have on that team. Mm-hmm. You think with Libero or Pine, you think one of them would be able to deal. I mean, they dealt with him a little bit, right. But he was just raking on them, and they had like no answer. And this also goes back. I think their tanks, Philadelphia's tanks, when we were talking about last week, Philadelphia's tank duo is a little bit better, like a slightest margin better than New York.
Yeah.
And it showed a little bit. I mean, and props to Fraggy. He kind of reined in his Winston play, mm-hmm. and he really made a difference in this match. He and is it
Poco?
They were switching up a little bit too. Yeah. A couple of maps they had.
Carpe he
was doing another one of his Carpe things with
just disgusting with his Widowmaker play.
I don't know. I can't comprehend the reflex, that twitch reflex he has.
Yeah.
My God,
just gross. I mean, between him, he and Shadowburn are another fantastic DPS combo.
Yeah.
I don't think they're quite at the same level as.
You're not going to get like the Sabiobi Libero level. They're up there though.
But
like Prophet Bird, right? I mean, they had some problems with that too. We already talked about them.
And then I'm always going to bring them up because I love them. But the Zen players, Boombox was a beast. Boombox was that's the Boombox from the World Cup. Mm-hmm. That just he was so on in that. And they were. I think they kind of unstoppable.
I think they came out and punched New York in the face, and they were not ready for it. They thought they were going to steamroll them like they steamroll everybody else. But
it felt like New York did not come in.
They were flat,
prepared for what Philly was going to bring.
Yeah,
they were not expecting that at all.
Now on to a brief discussion on speaking of limited hero pool. Let's talk Houston Outlaws and Florida Mayhem for a second.
It was that was a rough one,
and
I think Houston just dominated
because
from start to finish.
Yeah. And it's all the things that everyone says about Florida, and I hate saying it about my team, but they got to work on some stuff. They're like behind. They're behind the times. It seems like Swoosh is good with the
they're playing in the meta from
6 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, they have no one that's a great Junkrat, which you need now. Mm-hmm. They don't have a great Pharah player. I mean, Tivik is good, but he's not on that Shadowburn, even like effect or hydration type level.
Like Tivik and Logix are both really good, but they don't do enough to turn the tide of a battle, and like they're just not getting enough support from their tanks or their support. Their supports
are just awful.
Yeah, their supports are not good, and I think that really hurts them more than anything else. But also just, I mean, there were so many times where Logix would get picked off right away.
Yeah,
and get picked off, and then they'd have to reset, and then they're not resetting properly, and then
so many times they run into the Widowmaker behind the Orisa shield. Guys, come on. And then none of them are providing support for the supports. So when you're coming in on point A on Anubis, you have Linkser just, nobody's even fucking going after him. I lost my fucking mind. I'm sorry I'm not talking about Houston, because Houston fucking rolled him. But, you have Linkser up there shooting away, and you get Zebasai gets separated on Zenyatta, and he's out in the fucking archway because he can't get through because you're not going after the fucking Widowmaker. Good Lord, people, come on. Houston.
But we want to go into Houston now.
Yeah, let's talk about Houston.
We really think that everyone is freaking out over Houston because they've had some really decisive victories.
And they've been kicking people's asses.
Yeah.
But let's go over whose asses they've kicked.
Yep.
Florida. Dallas, who was a trash heap at the time when they killed him. Shanghai and Los Angeles. Gladiators. The bottom teams in the league.
Yep.
Record-wise.
And they did it to the Gladiators, but
and they did what you're supposed to do.
Gladiators are a better team now. I just think they're just one of those teams that's middle of the pack, but they're winning,
top to middle of the pack.
They're decisively winning the games that they should win.
That's a sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get a regular sports, I kind of compare it to the Carolina Panthers when they went to the Super Bowl.
Run. Yeah.
Most of their victories were against trash. Their division was terrible. They had a last place schedule, and I'm not saying Houston's not good. Don't misconstrue this.
No, because
I think they're top middle of the pack. They're around Philly.
Yeah,
that Philadelphia,
Boston, Philly, and they're all underneath the Valiant.
Yeah,
basically.
They're in that group.
They're kind of that group that's going to all fight for the last 2 playoff spots.
Yeah.
But
when back to the Carolina analogy.
Yeah.
So they played trash. The Cardinals, whose quarterback got knocked out the week before, and the week before that they played a garbage team. It's not really relevant because half you guys don't even watch fucking football anyway.
Right.
And if you do, it's some kind of Euro thing. But anyway, they got to the Super Bowl and they played Super Bowl. What I'm saying is don't get too excited about the 4-game win streak. You just need to
cool your jets on Houston. They're a good team.
They're good
for sure.
I like them too. I'm not saying I don't like them either.
But they are not. They are far from perfect.
Yeah.
And I want to see them put up a decisive win, or even just a win against one of those top 4 teams.
Right. I will
start to buy in more. But until that happens, cautious optimism with this team.
They got Seoul coming up this week. Let's see how they do.
Right.
If they beat Seoul, I'm sold.
Yes.
They got San Francisco first.
If they beat Seoul, even if they take Seoul and make it a competitive game,
right?
Take
like
it
Dallas
to 5
did.
maps.
If they do what Dallas did, kind of.
If they take it to 5 maps, then I will buy a little bit more into the Houston hype.
Or 1-1 with a tie, maybe a tiebreaker kind of thing. Yeah, I'll buy into the Houston hype. And I'm not saying they're bad. That duo of Linkser and Jake is, as a player, I like Linkser, but on Thursday I had enough. Watch it. I literally, if I could have grabbed the fucking mouse and the keyboard away from somebody, I would have just gotten the diva and just fucking flamed and just blown the fuck out of him on Widowmaker. I was fucking done.
I totally get it. Believe me, as a Browns fan, I totally understand this frustration. But that's it for...
That's day 1 and 2. I'm going to go fucking have a drink now because I had to relive that shit. Oh.
All right, guys, that's it for day 1, day 2 of week 3. I'm Kel.
I'm Misfit.
And we will see you on the next one.
And we'll see you on the next one. We'll see you on Twitch, too. We'll be on there.
Hit the link, or hit the like, hit subscribe, all that.
All right, guys, that's it for today. We will see you on the next one.
See you on the next one, guys. Later.
Later.